You're watching WHSV News 3. 11 minutes of nonstop news and weather starts right now.
An evening out at the ballpark leaves one woman hurt and two robbers on the run. Good evening, everyone. I'm Deon Guillory.
And I'm Allison Bruner. Right now, Harrisonburg police are looking for two men wanted in a robbery at Purcell Park.
It happened last night as a woman was closing up the concession stand, and now the money is all gone. WHSV's David Coy has that story new at 11. David.
Deon, the woman who was robbed is back home tonight after spending some time in the ER. One volunteer says she's glad security measures are being put in place to keep people safe. It's another day at the ballpark, but last night a volunteer was robbed. Michelle Bola is a Little League mom and a volunteer. She says the children are the ones who end up losing.
To take that money from these children after they've been out there working really hard, and it's just really sad that somebody would do this to them.
The money taken was donations to keep the Little League operating. Jennifer Spence says she is closing tonight. She will have an escort.
I'm glad that the police are going to get in it and let the community know that, this is tragedy. Somebody stole from Little League teams. I mean, they didn't just steal money from the bank or from the store. They stole money from children. When one volunteer was closing up shop, she went outside. She met up with somebody who robbed her, took all of her money, and ran off as fast as they could. The league manager emailed everyone to let them know what happened. Security will be beefed up.
Anything could happen to anybody, but we tend to try to stay together. I don't really know what happened last night as to the details, but there will be, security measures that are going to be put in place from now on, and to make sure that we're following the league rules and stuff like that, to make sure that nobody's alone.
Bent says she isn't worried.
I'm not going to be here alone tonight when I go home, but no, it's not going to stop me from doing anything.
The woman who was robbed had a sprained knee and a bad headache. But if you have any information that could help police, please call Crime Stoppers. The number is on your screen, 540-574-5050. Deon.
All right, David, thank you. Tonight, we're warning you about scams and ripoffs. The Harrisonburg Police Department saying there are two telemarketing scams aimed at senior citizens. Both involve phone calls where you're asked to give your personal information. The first involves LifeStation or a similar medical alert service. The caller offers a free medical alert system or says the service needs to be restarted by giving information and a payment. In the second one, the caller asks for your Medicare number and personal information to process a new Medicare card application. If you've been a victim or know anything about these, call Crime Solvers. The number right there on your screen, 540-574-5050. New details tonight on the IRS scandal. President Obama has appointed a new acting commissioner of the agency. This just hours after a second top IRS official announced his plans to leave. And tonight, the outrage over the scandal is expanding. Tamon Bradley explains what some groups are linking it to.
More damage control today at the White House. President Obama weathering raindrops and the IRS storm.
My main concern is fixing a problem.
The president says he'll make sure anyone involved in unfairly targeting conservative groups seeking tax-exempt status is held accountable.
I'm looking forward to working with Congress to fully investigate what happened, make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Mr. Obama admitted he first learned about the controversy from the media and said that a government watchdog report about the scandal made him angry. After announcing the forced resignation of the acting commissioner last night, today the president named his replacement. We also learned today a second official, the man in charge of the agency's Exempt and Government Entities Division, announced his plans to retire. And the FBI has already launched a criminal investigation. But Republicans are making it clear they're not dropping the issue.
Somebody made a decision to do this, and I doubt that it were some low-level employees in the Cincinnati field office.
Tea Party supporters gathered on Capitol Hill this morning with people who claim they were victimized by the IRS.
The power to tax is the power to destroy.
Republicans are now linking the IRS scandal to the implementation of Obamacare. They say the IRS cannot be trusted to administer the tax breaks and credits included in the health care overhaul. The official in charge of tax-exempt organizations during the time the IRS targeted conservatives now runs the IRS's office responsible for health care. Tamon Bradley, ABC News, Washington.
And former IRS Commissioner Douglas Shulman is scheduled to testify before Congress next week. Shulman was in charge of the agency during the time some agents were targeting conservative groups.
New details in that I-64 project at Afton Mountain. The work has been delayed again because of the weather. VDOT says heavy rain and lightning forced workers to shut down shop early. Crews have been removing soil to prevent landslides. This is one of several times the project has been delayed because of the weather. The project will start up again on Monday.
New at 11, if you're looking forward to spending hot summer days by the pool, this of course always looks good. This may change your mind though. A new study of public pools during swim season last year made an icky discovery. Researchers at the CDC found E. coli or feces in more than half its samples of pool filter water. The CDC says people should avoid swallowing pool water and should take pre-swim showers to keep germs out of the pool.
New at 11, you better make sure you fasten your seatbelt the next time you get into a car because police will crack down on you. Harrisonburg police displayed a destroyed car showing what could happen when someone is in a dangerous accident. The Click It or Ticket campaign is statewide, telling drivers to use their seatbelts when behind the wheel. New details tonight on several crashes Waynesboro police say were all caused by a Stewart's Draft woman driving drunk. Tonight, she is out of jail on bond. Police say Michelle Lynn Powell, who you see here, crashed into two cars on Main Street and South Delphine Avenue last night. We're told she then hit another car head on and then crashed into a utility pole. A hit and run charge is pending.
Checking in tonight on a pipe bomb explosion in Augusta County. We just got off the phone with Virginia State Police, and they tell us they are continuing to follow leads to figure out who was behind this. This happened in the community of Pastures. A car was hit by the pipe bomb, but the driver was not hurt. Several agencies are handling this case, including the FBI. If you know anything, call Virginia State Police at the number right there on your screen. It's 434-352-7128.
New details tonight on a crash that killed a 4-year-old girl from Waynesboro. Just a few hours ago, family and friends held a memorial vigil for Delaney Crowder in Buena Vista. She died in a crash in Lexington last week. Tomorrow, a funeral for Delaney is set to get underway at the Harrison Funeral Home Chapel in Lexington. That will start at 11 a.m.
Right now, search and rescue efforts are continuing across northern Texas after at least 10 tornadoes touched down there last night. At least 6 people are confirmed dead, and at least 1 neighborhood has been destroyed. You're looking at some damage from the area here. But tonight, Marcy Gonzalez explains many Texans have a reason to count their blessings.
After the roar of the twisters that leveled homes here in North Texas.
Oh my God! Look at us right above us!
Today, the hum and buzz of progress. Some of the power lines that were ripped to the ground are already strung across the sky once again. Below, neighbors help neighbors pick up the treasured remnants of what used to be home.
It's hard to believe that, we weren't hurt or killed. That it was truly God was just watching out over us. We didn't have a roof or nothing.
Prayers answered and said for the 6 people killed and dozens injured when as many as 10 tornadoes descended at dusk yesterday, tearing a destructive path through several communities. One of the twisters in EF4, packing winds up to 200 miles per hour.
I was holding that door just as tight as I could, and it was shaking.
Still shaking, and oh my God.
I was screaming, oh my God, it's over, we're gone.
Residents scared and overwhelmed.
I just broke down, and I just don't know what to do from here.
But working towards recovery, one boarded window and helping hand at a time. And clearly that recovery will take a while. But all day today, strangers came through this neighborhood offering what they could. Food, drinks, even a place to sleep tonight. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Cleburne, Texas.
When accuracy matters most, we let you know about severe weather first. WHSV's First Alert Storm Team.
And no tornadoes in the area here today, but some strong storms did make their presence known, particularly to the south, down Augusta County and over into Albemarle County. Had a warning up for a little while this afternoon. Satellite radar, things have quieted down quite a bit tonight. Got a cloud cover out there that'll pretty much be in place through the night. And we still have some storm conditions to the south of us. pretty much going to stay down there. There's a chance, I think, for a little shower activity overnight. Won't amount to too much. And then tomorrow, well, we'll get another chance of some showers and maybe a couple of storms in the area. Coming in here a little bit closer, this is a lower level radar, and you saw some of those echoes that we were picking up there just a second ago. Nothing showing up here, saying that if there is any echoes out there, it's essentially Virga not making it to the ground. A little dry in the surface layer. 68 outside the studios, mostly cloudy. West winds about 5 miles per hour at this time, and temperatures called in tonight by weather watchers pretty much consistent in the mid and upper 60s around the area. Not seeing any 70s. 67 Stanley, Mount Jackson, the 67 with Dan, as well as Lucy over in Sparkling Springs, 69 down Stanton Way, 68 in Timberville. So pretty comfortable. Temperature's going to be dropping a little bit further, another 5-8 degrees bottom out tonight, and then we'll start all over again tomorrow, although just a little bit cooler as we'll get a little influence from some northern air. We look at that here on the forecast map. We do have an echo around midnight just to the southwest of us. Not so sure that that's going to make it into our area. I think it's pushing a little bit more to the south-southeast, but cloud cover is in place. We put that in motion, and we'll see cold front trying to make its way down. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, we should see a little sunshine. Then late morning, we'll pick up a couple of showers as the frontal system makes its way through the area. And then we'll also pick up some winds out of the northeast, and that will help cool things down, or at least keep temperatures down tomorrow. As we get into the afternoon, evening hours, though, we can see another chance for some showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm in there. I don't think it'll be quite as busy as it was earlier today, but busy just the same. Overnight lows around 60 degrees here in the valley. That'll carry up into Moorfield at 60, 59 Petersburg, and into the middle and maybe upper 50s. Looking at Monterey and Franklin, and pretty comfortable out there, though. You can leave the windows open a little bit. Chance for a little shower. Not going to be much, as I said. Tomorrow, we'll see temperatures climbing to the mid-70s, 76 in Harrisonburg and Stanton, Waynesboro at 75, and lower 70s as we look over into the Highlands. Chance for some showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm. The next 7 days, well, they come up like this, folks. 76 tomorrow. Do have the 3 green bars up there, meaning, well, we'll have some showers and maybe a thunderstorm. Not going to be severe weather. Shouldn't be really inconvenient at all. An umbrella should cover it. 74 on Saturday, and then we drop into the 60s for your Sunday. The next extended forecast looks like this. Will be a little on the cool side through the weekend, or at least relatively speaking. As we go into next week, we're looking at a couple of 80-degree temperatures. Things start to warm up a bit again. And as I said, we had those showers and the thunderstorms. Not going to be a washout, folks. Some places will get a little shower, might hear a little rumbling. I think an umbrella will cover it, so if you have plans to be outside, go enjoy.
And we see green, so green is always good.
Yeah, green means a good day, and just because it's raining doesn't mean it's ruined or it's going to be severe or an inconvenient day.
Just bring the umbrella.
There you go. That's why they make them.
Exactly. Thanks, George. Well, we all get headaches from time to time, but we'll show you the 7 signs when a headache could be more dangerous than you think.
Plus, the changing way people watch TV has advertisers adapting as well. That story and how the market's wrapped up coming up in the Bloomberg After the Bell report, and all ways you can join the conversation. We love hearing from you. Right there on your screen, ways you can reach Allison and I on Facebook and Twitter. We are checking in tonight on your health. A lot of us get headaches from time to time. In some cases, the pain can be the beginning of something dangerous, even deadly. Dr. Sapna Parekh shows us the 7 signs a headache could signal something more dangerous, new at 11.
Ready to go to the bus stop? Jackie Yeager is a busy mom and a part-time producer for ABC News. Have a good day. 3 days after the birth of her first child, she woke up from a nap with what she calls the worst headache of her life.
Something I had never felt before. It was very scary, and it came on like a clap of thunder.
At first, doctors thought it was another migraine, but when it got worse, she called her neurologist.
He ordered a test, and it came back that I had a blood clot.
There's an abrupt cutoff where the clot is.
Dr. Larry Newman is director of the Headache Institute at Roosevelt Hospital. He diagnosed Jackie and says a sudden headache in women just before or after giving birth is always a concern.
Their blood clots much more easily, and because of that, they can have blood clots forming in certain areas of the brain.
And that thunderclap Jackie described is another red flag.
Thunderclap is a headache that just comes on like a bolt out of the blue. That usually indicates something bad has happened, particularly an aneurysm has ruptured a blood clot has formed.
Another warning sign, a severe headache with exertion, coughing, or sexual activity.
We worry that there's an aneurysm that's ruptured or other form of bleeding into the brain, because those activities can cause increased pressure in the brain.
And a brain tumor can present in different ways, but Dr. Newman says 3 signs to watch for: a headache that keeps getting worse, that wakes you up at night, or is associated with vomiting, but you don't feel nauseous.
You found it? Let me see.
Jackie says she still worries every time she gets a headache, but she's been fine ever since and hopes you will not ignore the warning signs.
I think this is a story too about just knowing your body, because sometimes I think if I had just let it go for a few more hours or another day, what would have happened?
That was Dr. Sapna Parekh reporting. Now, if you're someone who gets headaches all the time, any change in your headache is a warning sign. And as always, when in doubt, check it out.
Well, the new place, you'll soon see Twitter updates, and the changing way people watch TV has advertisers adapting as well. With those stories and more, here's Bloomberg's Deborah Kostrin.
Yahoo's Marissa Mayer today unveiling her latest attempt to revive growth at the company. U.S. users will start seeing Twitter updates on the desktop and mobile versions of Yahoo's news service sometime over the next few days. Now, since she took the helm at Yahoo last summer, Mayer has been focused on adding mobile services, including the recent addition of a mobile app for email and weather. Now, advertisers are warming to the idea of viewers who record programs and watch them later. So says CBS chief Les Moonves. He says about a fifth of the network's ad commitments this year are targeting an audience that watches shows up to a week after an original broadcast. Moonves anticipates that percentage will more than quadruple by next year as marketers accept changing viewing habits in the digital age. Well, stocks falling on concern over continued central bank stimulus as well as a drop in housing starts. Another report out today showed the cost of living in the U.S. fell last month for the second straight month thanks to a drop in fuel prices. That marks the first back-to-back decline since late 2008. I'm Jane King in New York with the Bloomberg After the Bell report.
Everyone's retirement dream is different. How we get there is not. We're Americans. We work, we plan. Ameriprise Advisors can help you like they've helped millions of others. To help you retire your way with confidence. That's what Ameriprise Financial does. And that's what they can do with you. Let's get to work. Ameriprise Financial, more within reach.
Good evening. I'm Michael Gokenauer with the Wholesaler Lance Sipe and Gokenauer Investment Group of Wells Fargo Advisors. With the market down, here are your stocks of local interest for today.
Extra special delivery. A Papa John's delivery guy is accused of serving more than slices of pizza. The charges he now faces because of it.
Plus, a Pennsylvania bus driver got an unexpected passenger on board. The full story just 2 minutes away.
Now, 2 more stories, all new at 11. You can call it an extra special delivery.
A Papa John's delivery guy is accused of serving up more than just pizza. New York police say they busted Ramon Rodriguez selling cocaine with his pies. These items were confiscated from him during his arrest. Prosecutors say Rodriguez made at least 19 drug sales to an undercover officer since 2011. He faces several charges.
A Pennsylvania bus driver got an unexpected passenger on board.
Something caught my eye, and next thing I know, it hit the window. It was a deer, and it came through the bottom of the window. And I'm trying to get back out.
Can you believe that? A deer scrambled to get out of the window, but the driver brought the bus to a stop, letting the deer go out the door. And guess what? He didn't even have to pay for a ticket.
Wow.
But that's just crazy. What do you do when an animal just...
I'll just put it this way. That bus fared better than my vehicle when I hit a deer in West Virginia a couple years ago.
Yeah, deer can do damage.
No airbag. Yes. No airbag in that crash. But the Dukes are trying to...
They're not crashing.
No. They're trying to avoid a crash and avoid missing out on the CAA tournament that they will host next weekend. We got highlights from the Dukes trip to Delaware, and we'll let you know how the BC baseball team fared and see if they could fight off elimination, avoid some of those crash bags, you know. And UVA, they hit the road to Tobacco Road, taking on UNC and Chapel Hill hoping to sweep the series and take the top seed in the ACC tournament, but they'd have to start it off the right way. We'll find out if they did. Highlights ahead. Forward.